In today's video, I'm going to show you how to record quality in MineMarket, and we're going to look at the second section of that recording. So the first way we looked at was to create composite samples and lot samples. We did that in the previous video. Today we're going to look at recording certificates and entering surveys. So a certificate is where we record quality in tons against the dispatch order without actually doing the loading transactions. A survey is where we do quality and or tons recorded on a static object, for instance a mine source or a stockpile. So it's different compared to a sample where there's a movement of the product based on a transaction. So today we're going to look at certificates and we're going to go look at surveys. And we'll do a survey on a mine source, and then I'll just show you the differences when we do a survey on a stockpile. So this was the shipment that we loaded in that previous example, where we have on the logistics and the loading tab we have all our different transactions, loading transactions with the mass and the dispatch order assigned. You might find some customers don't actually need to record all this. All that they want is they want weights and assays against the dispatch order so that they can generate an invoice. In that case, using a certificate is a lot less work. So if we go to the marketing tab, we'll see we've got two dispatch orders as normal that we assign to the shipment. And each one's got its own specification. So there's a target, a minimum, a maximum, and then the lump has a different specification with lower and upper warning limits. So let's go to the certificate. What we have to do is we have to go and create a certificate. We pick the dispatch order. So let's just start off from the beginning. So we go and pick a dispatch order that we're assigning it to. It creates a certificate number for us, and we can edit the number. We can allocate the certificate date for it, and then here we see it's a summary total. And you can have one or many certificates that you apply. So let's go and create a new one. You'll see the certificate lot number is a name that you can change. So let's go and put in the tons, and we say it's 95,124 tons. The moisture is 4.5%, and let's say the iron ore is 64.22, etc. And then you save that. So when you want to do an invoice for the specific dispatch order, that will be the loading weight, and these will be the loading qualities. And it's as simple as that. So that's one way. So we've looked at composite samples, where we allocated we created two composite samples and allocated that composite sample to the first three transactions, and then the second composite sample to the last transaction. That's one way. We've looked at doing lot samples, where we had every 10,000 tons we created a lot sample. And then today we looked at creating a certificate. So you go to marketing tab and you go to certificate. The fourth way that we can assign quality in MineMarket is by doing what is known as a survey in MineMarket. So let's open up our supply chain, and first of all we're going to go and look at a survey on a mine source. So we'll open up a mine source, and I'll just open up this one. Okay, so what you can see here is we have some expected total quantity, which isn't that is a sort of a planned value that we're expecting to get out of it. But because it's a mine source, we can't actually measure it. We can't survey it and say we have a specific mass or quantity in that mine source. So let's go back to the survey tab. The first thing that you can do is you can filter by certain analyte groups. So if you've got a list of analytes, maybe you've got a couple of different analyte groups, and you can survey them, and it just helps if you entering this manually that you have them in a specific order so that you don't make any errors. So right click, add a survey. It will default to today's date. The username would be there. You can enter any comments, and you can also enter a reason code. And the reason codes are defined in the list editor. So you can create your own reason codes. So I'm just going to say it's an end of month survey, and you put in the values, and you say let's say this was done on the 1st of August. Surveyor did this for us, and he said the moisture is 3.11, etc. So you would like etc. and you save it. So what you can see at the moment here, we've got the downstreaming happen there. So any transactions that happened after that date from this mine source will assume this quality if the assumption on the process flow is assume the source. If we go and look at the activity on this, you'll see there's a green line, and that whenever you see the green line, that would show you when there's a survey. So it's very important to do the survey to enter accurate time for the survey, because if you do the survey and you do transactions before then, they'll still be recorded in the MineMarket database, but this would be the latest snapshot of whatever the quality is. Right, so that's when we do it on a mine source. So let's go and look at a stockpile. So I'll open up this ROM stockpile, and straight away you can see the difference here where on the mine source we had expected a total quantity, whereas here we've actually got real tons. We've got opening balances and closing balances on the current state of the stockpile. So let's go to the survey tab, and you can see it looks exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same. The only difference is here we have a quantity. Okay, so we're going to add a survey. Same thing, it uses today's date and time, the user who created it, and then your quantity. You can specify what the unit of measure is for that, and you can put in your quantity. In this slide I mentioned that you can do a combination of, so you could have just a tonnage, or you can have just quality, or you can do a combination of the quantity and the quality. So let's say let's go and look at the current state. The closing balance is 52. Okay, so let's make it. Let's just go and put in a quantity and say it's 52,311. Right, and then we get the same. We can put in a comment here. We can create a reason code. Exactly the same as with survey on the mine source. And then we can go and put in the quality. So here we go and say this is 45%. Maybe the moisture here is 6%, etc. And you save it. So let's have a look and see what's happening on the activity tab. So if we go and look at the activity tab and we go back a little bit, then you can see we've got a survey here on the 31st, and here we've got another survey on the 26th of the 8th. Okay, so recorded all the transactions coming on, all the loading and unloading on and off the stockpile. It's kept all that in history for us, but because we've put in a date that's after that transaction, that was the 1st of the 7th and now it's on the 26th of the 8th, this will be the new snapshot. So this will be the snapshot, and whatever the quality was that we put in, that would be the quality. So that could have been the quality, that was the quality in the beginning, but this will now be the quality. So what I'm going to show you is, if we go back to the activity tab and we show that we've got the transactions, let's say on the 28th of the 6th, we change the survey and we do the survey a little bit earlier. So I want to go back here, 28th of the 6th, let's just do it, or just do it there, so somewhere there. We save that and we just let it save and downstream. So what this downstream means that all transactions after this date will be updated with whatever the new quality is. So let's go and look at the activity. First thing that we can see is if we just refresh that, look at all our transactions, but the difference is the survey has now moved from here, from below at the bottom here. So we put in a survey of 52,311, but the next tons gets added on. So it's very important. The survey date is very important to record accurately. That's all I want to show you today in recording certificates and recording surveys.